C.J. Stroud looking to get the Texans back on track against a winless Jacksonville team. Stroud was stymied by Brian Flores' Vikings defense last week, where he threw 2 interceptions. Here he is on this week's game.
The one thing for me is like just keeping our confidence, keeping our swag, like don't let one game define who we are, you know what I'm saying? So it's early in the year, you know, we still are a really, really good football team, and we're going to go out there and prove that, you know. So got to learn from our mistakes, but also, you know, can't hold our heads down and not learn from it and just really just start sulking in our own, like, sorrow, you know what I mean? So still keep the swag.
Okay, the question you wanted here was, is it panic time if Houston loses to the woeful Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, 100%. If you want to make this Trevor Trash Hour, we can.
No, don't do it.
Okay, good. I'd rather talk about the Houston Texans because we haven't, which is why people don't realize something's off. So week 1, it was like, oh, CJ, Anthony Richardson duel. Maybe the Colts are frisky and good, but the problem is Colts have played games since then. We're like, uh-oh, that team scored 27 on you. Yep. Week 2, we were just like, oh, what's wrong with Caleb Williams? Not recognizing Houston didn't seem quite right. And week 3, it was Sam Darnold, Brian Flores, party for them. Yeah. Houston on the other side of it. Meanwhile, one of my fervent opinions during the summer was Packers-Texans, not sure which one, but one of them, little too much steam, little too much hype, and is going to come back to the pack. And over the last 7 years, teams that pop, make the divisional round, we can show it to you, they don't like teams that get knocked out in the divisional round. The following year, only twice have made it past that. 18 have missed the playoffs outright. And so what's going on with the Texans? Well, show you CJ's numbers because he's supposed to be an MVP. He's been, I think we can show you CJ's numbers. It's a blind reveal, but one of them is CJ. I don't know if you can tell the difference between those two players. To me, it's about identical.
Is that Geno?
No, it's not Geno, Brew. If it was Geno, it would be nothing to be ashamed of. It's worse than Geno. Wild's gonna like it. Reveal it, please. That's C.J. Stroud and that's Gardner Minshew.
I think he could.
And so, listen, facts are the facts. Now, I understand that he's earned far more benefit of the doubt than Patrick Mahomes, so no one should panic. But it's an odd start. And if they lose to the Jags and have the Bills next week, we buried the Jags already. Jags are 1-3 and they're 2-2. It's something. So, yeah, panic time if they lose.
Wow.
I'm not ready to panic, but as someone who picked CJ to win
League MVP.
And this team to get to the Super Bowl and win it.
Win it, okay.
Like, this is like something to pay attention to because defensively you thought that, okay, we're going to improve. We're going to be better. They haven't been. They've struggled defensively against teams that don't score a ton of points. Obviously, the Vikings put up a lot of points, and they've been good. They're a 4-0 team. But you mentioned the Colts. The Colts haven't scored that many points since.
Free win too.
And so for me, it's one of those things where you add players and it kind of alters the continuity that you already had.
Sure.
And it's something that your quarterback has to learn to deal with and overcome. Coaching has to change because you're trying to figure out how can we appease everyone? How can we implement plays for everyone and still be as effective and as explosive? And they just simply haven't been. They've truly been struggling. And C.J. Stroud, I'll raise my hand, you are right there in the forefront of struggling right now.
Not panic, but concern. They be 2-2. And why I say not panic, that division's bad. Like, you might win this division with a 9-8 record or something like that.
Sure.
Indianapolis, you don't have any idea what you're getting with Anthony Richardson.
No, that's totally right.
Jacksonville obviously is struggling.
Has been terrible.
And then Tennessee. Will Levis is your quarterback. So for that reason, I'm not panicking. Now, their schedule's tough. You brought up Buffalo. These are their out-of-division games. Buffalo, Green Bay, the Jets, Detroit, Dallas, Kansas City, and Baltimore.
Yeah.
So that's but again, because the division's so bad, I would imagine they'll still be able to survive it.
Jags are the only team in the league without a takeaway. So back to the show. Undefeated Bills are underdogs in Baltimore Sunday night, where the MVP favorite faces the reigning MVP. Here's Josh Allen on Lamar. Take a listen.
One, he's an inspiration to a lot of people in this country. The way that he plays the game, the the doubters that he had coming out and asking to switch positions early on, and then for him to show the resiliency and the work ethic and the attitude to go forward and win 2 MVPs. You know, guys around the league, they see that he's really changed the way that I think guys play the game. But make no mistake about it, he can throw the snot out of the football.
Here's Josh and Lamar head-to-head. Josh has got 2 wins. Lamar has one. Still under 200 yards, total yards per game for Lamar, and a decent amount of turnovers for both guys.
Josh is
And awful passer rating.
Yeah,
for both.
it's just kind of a defensive battle.
Their one playoff game was 17-3. Neither one of them played that well.
Yeah.
In it. That's a weird.
All right, so for you, which QB do you trust more?
I mean, look, obviously Josh is having the better season right now. He's playing phenomenal. But I'm going to go with Lamar because to me, the only questions about Lamar is the playoffs. Like regular season, the dude is great. And obviously he doesn't throw it like Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers or somebody like that. But as far as effectiveness in the regular season, he's great. So is Josh. But Josh, we have more questions than just is he ever going to win a Super Bowl or win the AFC. It's is he going to revert to being reckless?
Yep.
And even though he started off great, we've seen him start off seasons great, maybe even greater than this, and then still have those moments. Lamar's not really reckless. Now, he'll make some turnovers here and there, but he's not reckless, doesn't make the boneheaded, what was he thinking type plays. He may miss a pass, obviously, we saw against the Chiefs, but he's not going to just have these ridiculous turnovers. And these stats, I kind of call them the reliability stats maybe. They're very close, but Lamar does have Embiid in, touchdown percentage, interception percentage. I put those up there because I do think Josh is a better passer, but Lamar is more accurate, if you'd say passer
more
rating.
efficient.
Yeah, more efficient. That's a good word. And, so you see there, he hadn't even fumbled his
number shocks the audience.
Oh, yeah.
For their careers. I think that Lamar's passer rating is 5 points for his career. That's the whole sample.
Yep.
I think that probably shocks the audience. Go ahead, Greg.
Look, I like both of these guys. I think stylistically, they're similar in ways, but very different as well, which is strange. But I got to go with Josh. Like, I'm as much as I love Lamar and what he represents, leadership, all the things, if I am trying to win, and it's a very important game, I don't know if I can count on Lamar to be special the way that he is special in these regular season games.
So you're saying more a playoff.
That's what truly matters. If I need you to show up in the most important point, in the most important spots, I need you to be who you've always been, and Lamar tends to not be that. Josh Allen, albeit reckless, even in his recklessness, he's going to give you something special. He's going to have some highs. He might take you on the greatest roller coaster ride ever. But you're going to be
playing my song.
Absolutely. But you're going to be there.
Right, and that's not Lamar.
But no, that's not Lamar. And also, I trust Lamar more. I fear Josh more. This graphic to me is nerve-wracking for the Bills. Because we haven't had a big drop in quite some time.
That's exactly right.
And so, I mean, he has played clean, almost flawless. Game 2, he didn't really have to do anything, but it was totally efficient football. You do fear that's coming. And it's been 4 weeks, so this will change. But up to this moment of the season, Wilds, this is game of the year. Up to this point in the season, this is in my opinion,
bigger than the Chiefs.
Yes, bigger than Chiefs Ravens because neither the stakes for that for one team were kind of non-existent. There were no real stakes for the Chiefs in that game.
Bengals, Chiefs.
No real stakes for the Chiefs in that game either. Because they had just beaten the Ravens. This game, let's just go through it. Baltimore wins, then they've steadied. People are like, they probably should be 3-1. Some folks would be like, well, actually, they could be 4-0. They're back to being, in my opinion, number 2 with a bullet in the conference. Yeah. And Buffalo, you start to get real worried about in this regard quickly because when you looked at their schedule to start the year, everyone knew first 3, last 3. you should take care of business.